It began with a traveler who stumbled upon Eldermere at dusk. His name was Thomas Gray, a mapmaker. He had been tracing trade routes across the mountains when a storm forced him off his path. The village lay in a hidden valley, cloaked in fog, as though the world itself tried to keep its secret. Thomas remembered the silence first. No dogs barking, no children laughing, no blacksmith hammering. Just silence. Yet the streets were lined with candles, each flickering as if freshly lit. He knocked on a door. No answer. He pushed it open. The fire still burned in the hearth. The soup still steamed on the table. But there was no one inside. House after house, all the same. Food left uneaten, clothes left folded, books left open. It was as if, in one single heartbeat, the entire village had simply vanished. Part 2. The Old Journal. Thomas nearly fled that night, but curiosity chained him there. In the largest house, what seemed to be the mayor's, he found a journal. The handwriting grew more frantic with each entry. The early pages spoke of a shadow in the woods. Not a man, not an animal. Something taller than the trees, always watching. Then, the entries became warnings. Greater than, do not listen when it calls your name. Never look at it after midnight. If the bells ring, it is already too late. The final words were smeared, almost illegible. Greater than, the loom is unraveling. Part 3. The bells. That night, Thomas awoke to bells. Not church bells. Not wedding bells. They were deep, metallic, and wrong, as though the earth itself was groaning. He looked out the window and froze. The streets were no longer empty. Figures moved between the houses. But they weren't people. They were outlines. Faint, glowing threads that formed the shape of men, women, children. Their movements twitched, like puppets pulled on tangled strings. And then one of them turned. Though its face was featureless, Thomas felt its gaze pierce him. It raised its hand, a single finger pointing directly at him. And the bells grew louder. Part 4. The Weaver. Thomas fled into the woods, but the fog followed. Hours felt like days until he stumbled into an ancient ruin, a stone archway woven with roots and strange symbols. Inside was a loom, not made of wood, but of bone. Human bone. Threads of light stretched from the loom into the fog, thousands of them, pulsing like veins. And behind it sat the weaver. Its form was shrouded, but its hands were long and sharp, pulling the glowing threads, knotting them, snapping them, weaving them back together. When its hood shifted, Thomas saw a face, but not one face. Dozens, hundreds. Every time he blinked, the face changed. A child, a mother, a soldier, a beggar. All shifting in and out like smoke. The weaver spoke without moving its lips. Every soul is a thread. Every thread belongs to me. Part 5. The Bargain. Thomas fell to his knees. Where are the villagers? He demanded. The weaver's many faces smiled as one. They are here, woven, eternal. Thomas realized then, the glowing figures in the village weren't ghosts. They were threads, the souls of Eldermere, stitched into the weaver's tapestry. He begged to be spared. The weaver tilted its head. No thread is ever spared. But a thread may be rewoven. It offered him a bargain. Take up the loom, weave for eternity, and his soul would not be cut. Thomas refused. He turned and ran. The forest screamed behind him. The bells roared, the fog thickened. Yet somehow, by dawn, he found himself outside the valley. When he looked back, there was nothing. No fog, no village, just empty hills. Part 6. The Return. Years passed. No one believed his story. They called him a liar, a drunk, a madman. But Thomas never forgot the sound of the bells. And then, one night, decades later, travelers reported seeing a glow in the valley again. Candles lit in empty houses. Thomas knew what it meant. The weaver was weaving again. So he packed his maps, his ink, and his courage. He returned to Eldermere and was never seen again.